Good morning, everybody. Hope you got your coffee with you or whatever you choose to drink. There's been some breaking news this morning that we're going to get into. It just came out 2 hours ago on the trusted news network CNN.
There's been a lot of stuff happening in the last week and a half. So we thought we'd get on here and do a little recap of stuff that's going on. But while we're waiting for everybody to get on,
Well, this is what we do. We have Saturday morning coffee,
We do.
watch the sun come up.
talk about what's going on.
We put fish in the pond yesterday. I was going to roll some footage, but I can't on the live stream. But check this out. Trump says he expects to be arrested Tuesday as New York law enforcement prepares for possible indictment. Former President Donald Trump said Saturday expects to be arrested by the Manhattan District Attorney next week and called for protest as New York law enforcement prepares for a possible indictment. The social media post Trump referring to himself said the leading Republican candidate and former president of the United States will be arrested Tuesday. And this goes back to the whole, what's her name?
Stormy.
Stormy, yeah.
He paid her off or whatever. That's what they're saying. It's a 6-year-old misdemeanor. And they are bound and determined to get Trump. For some reason, they do not want him running, and they are bound and determined. But anyway, we've got some people on here live, and let's see. Ninja was preaching it for sure. Yeah, I missed his live stream. I'll have to go back and watch it. He gets fired up sometime.
Yeah, I talked to him this morning. He was pretty fired up.
I'm a little bit not really fired up as we did when I did the last video with Chris, because I haven't been on here with him just a little while. And I told you guys, I said, Chris and I, we joke around and we laugh a lot, and we try to say, here's solutions. We try to be positive about what's going on. In the last video we did, like, I had a pit in my stomach, and it's still there a little bit. Like, it's kind of hard for me just to be really, I guess, joking around a whole lot when you look at about all the stuff that's happened this past week. Just with everything he's mainly the banks.
So much news, guys. 90% of the move is in the last 10% of the time, and we're seeing it. We're seeing it unfold right now. She's got a pile of news about banks.
Well, kind of a timeline, what's kind of happened in the last week and a half.
I've got some stories off Ninja Nation about the Fed coin that will be rolled out this year. We're seeing it, and SVB was part of that.
Yeah, so was the Republic.
Yeah. Yep. So it's really strange, and we kind of been thinking this was going to be there's going to be some type of emergency, some type of hey, we got to do something now. Here's the CBDC. This will save the day. Why are you, if you had the CBDC to begin with and you weren't going through these banks or whatever, then this wouldn't happen. Or maybe the banks use it. It's going to be some kind of strange situation like that they're going to push you into this thing.
Well, let's talk about timeline. Because we're going to do a recap just a little bit, and let's talk about some of the stuff that's happening. So if you look back for the past week and a half, I mean, it has been a roller coaster, crazy ride. So if you start kind of back in the last Monday and Tuesday, a week and a half, almost 2 weeks ago, if you notice, was it Tuesday and Wednesday or Tuesday and Wednesday, I think, Jerome Powell addressed 2 different financial committees. One was in the House, I think one was in the Senate, and he was being very hawkish, and he was saying different things. So it kind of makes me, when they say things like that, I think it's something you got to pay attention to, because obviously they were giving some kind of warnings that something was happening. And if you look at that, just on March the 8th, if we do a little bit of a recap, that Silvergate Capital Corporation, and that's a bank that nobody really talked about. That one was actually shut down first before the big bank. And they just kind of blamed it as it was a crypto invested kind of bank. They just kind of swept it under the rug. The FDIC came in, they shut them down. And from what I understand, no one's even bought them or picked them back up. But that
Who would buy that?
Well, Bank of America is buying Republic.
The government's going to buy that.
True. So they came in and shut them down. But then that very afternoon, the Silicon Valley Bank, the big one that we all talked about on Friday that they came in and shut down, they started selling off shares. And we've talked about how the CEO months before that started selling off their shares, which, I found out, by the way, the banks are not, listen to this, banks are exempt from insider trading regulations that apply to most companies. I did not know that.
I didn't either, but it is par for the course. They're not going to fail. The banks, they're going to fail. They're going to make us fail, but they're not. They're going to be fine. Joe come out and said he's going to make sure they are held accountable, which is a bunch of crap.
Well, I think they are looking into some of the SV or the Silicon Valley Bank
Yeah,
CEOs,
we'll see.
but we'll see how far
something
that
really
goes.
happens.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, they started selling off shares. Well, that apparently was an indicator to a lot of those capital venture people that were part of this bank. Oh, and another side note, I did not realize how big China was invested in this bank, the Silicon Valley. A lot of the drug makers, the pharmaceuticals, because they're saying now, do you think that the U.S. is going to step in and try to help the drug makers and the pharmaceutical? I didn't realize how many pharmaceutical companies had invested in this bank and had funds in this bank.
big pharma's involved.
Yeah. So that's going to be, I think, an issue also. But here's the interesting thing also. So apparently the parent company, what is it?
I got it. Hang on. I got to get in here. I'm getting haggled on my welding channel. Chris, not to be pushy, your welding students are patiently waiting for your next words of wisdom. I got a video I've been working on all day yesterday. If y'all are interested in a welding channel or know some young men and women that want to, actually put their hands to do something, build cool stuff and make a good living, I started a welding channel. It's called Taylor Welding. I'll put it in this video. Or you can just Google Taylor Welding or YouTube it. So that's coming out.
Aren't you giving a free welding machine?
I'm going to give a free welding machine away. I hadn't figured out quite how to do it yet. I'd like to give it to somebody that, somebody that would really use it and somebody that's really interested. I'm trying to figure out how to do that. Before we get going anymore, where are you guys from? I love it when you post where you're at, because other people in the comments say, hey, I live close, or, it makes that connection. So put in the live chat where you're watching from. That's really cool.
Yeah, it is.
We've got some silver questions. I just saw one a while ago.
All right, I'll get to that.
We'll get to them in just a second. What good will silver do? We'll talk about that some in a minute. Yeah. But keep going with your bank stuff. I just want to.
No, it's been a roller coaster. If you look to see for the last week and a half. So when they came out and said that, when they came out and did that they were going to sell these stocks, these venture capitalist people said, wait a minute. They started calling all the founders. And actually, there was a lady on Fox. She was not part of this group. She said, I did not get that phone call. The lady I was telling you about, she has $10 million locked up in there. But they started calling the founders and said, you guys, I don't care what the CEO said, because the CEO came out, made a phone call, and he said, you guys stay calm. We got this. And they said, I don't care what that CEO, they said, go. And it's actually on record that they told the founders, get your deposits out. And they did. And the bank went down. The shares plummeted 60%. And from what I understand, the parent group is now filing for bankruptcy. So I don't know how that will affect the Silicon Valley Bank, but the parent group is Chapter 11. They just filed.
These banks are the big bellwether. This is a big deal, and it's making everybody. It's instilling fear in everybody, and now they're starting to run to their local bank and want their money. I'm gonna tell you, the bank does not have your money. That's not how it works. If everybody goes to the bank and wants some money, they're not going to get it.
No.
They're going to be told it's fine. Don't worry about it. And I would recommend not pulling all of your money out of the bank, because you need money in there to make transactions. I would recommend, even if you had just enough to make transactions, put them in like 3 or 4 different banks, in case something does happen.
I've got to actually, speaking of that, I've got to pick a new one. And if you guys have any suggestions, I'd like to know, but I think I'm going to do a credit union for my next one. I got to pick one more, since we had to shut one down the other day. But so then you just you keep going throughout the weekend. If you guys noticed when the bank shut down Friday, we came out and we did a video that we would be working all weekend. And I'll just tell you right now, the stock. I'll just tell you right now, the gold and silver. This is how much it's changed since last Friday. Last Friday, if you guys I talked to you guys, the COMEX closes at 4 p.m. on Friday. Doesn't open back up until Sunday at 5 p.m. So if you guys ever want to purchase on a Saturday, you can guarantee that the price, that the spot is going to be the same. It closed last Friday at $20.80 for silver. It is now $22.78. That means it raised $1.98 in a week. It closed for gold $1,875.80. It is now $1,193.50. Yeah, it's raised up. And not only that, but my availability is way down. I was just talking to somebody about platinum, and I was going through trying to order platinum for them, and I was out. And I don't even have some coming on a truck, so I couldn't even lock it in for them. Same thing with especially like the buffaloes and stuff. So you guys order it. I've got it coming in, but you're going to be a month or 2 out now getting it, where before we had it really accessible. Any more questions before I go on?
I want to read just a few.
Oh, wow,
Ohio,
okay.
Colorado, Oregon, South
Carolina.
Dakota, Indiana, Virgin Islands.
South Central Mississippi.
Oh, I'm sorry, Virgin side, Washington, D.C.
El
Nebraska,
Paso, Texas.
Yuma. Guys, this is awesome. South Central Mississippi, Cocoa Beach, Florida, Texas. That's cool. It's so cool to be able to reach like-minded people through a platform that, because there's going to be me and other people like us that are going to be sharing news. It talks in the Bible about how something will happen. The beast gets shot or whatever it is, and he comes right back, and the whole world will see it. And that's how it's going to work. You're going to see it through
social
YouTube,
media,
Facebook, social media, Twitter. It's going to be like that, and everybody will see it. And it's really wild to see this unfold. And it's also very heartwarming to see the like-minded get together and all kind of build a community of people that think the same way. So thank you for being here, and hit the like button. If you're here, we've got 89 likes. It'd mean the world to me if I just saw it shoot up. Really appreciate that. You have to probably exit the live stream to do it, but you can come right back.
All right, can we keep going with this a little bit? So
Keep going,
Then we had another bank, you guys. So then, of course, we hit March the 13th, and then we had another bank. We had a Signature Bank, and the FDIC came in, and they also seized that bank. The FDIC, they came in because depositors pulled out 20% or more of their, and from what I understand, no, Bank of America, that's the one that they're going to buy, not First Republic. I'm sorry, that was screwed up on that. Bank of America, I think, has come out and said, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but what I can tell by doing some research, I guess they're going to step up and buy that one. But that was another bank. So you guys, that's three banks within like a week, less than a week, that have come out and said that. So there's a bank indicator regulator. I think it's KWB, something like that. And they do like 24 banks. And they have come out and downgraded our bank in the United States, our banks, from being stable to being negative. And they have put 12 on a watch list of ones that they are concerned about having issues and failing. And then the 2-year Treasury, after this all happened, so the First Republic, we'll go to the 2-year Treasury. So the First Republic all of a sudden came out and said, oh, we're having issues also. And here's another interesting thing on the First Republic. If you look back on their history in the last couple of months since the first of the year, guess what? Their CEO sold off all their stocks too. They sold off like a ton of them. They sold off millions of them. Once again, will they get called on it? I don't know.
UBBI, Universal Basic Bank Income. The government's going to backstop these banks. They're not going to let them fail. If the banking sector fails, if all the banks fail, then we're done. So they're not going to do that.
That's not fair, you guys. Though, if they have inside information and they're not held to the same standards as the regulators and the inside trading and stuff like that, and they can get away knowing that their bank is in the toilet and they can go out and sell their shares, that pisses me off.
The system's rigged. It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
Nope, we're not. We'll want for just a little bit more, and then we'll kind of end up with what kind of happened in the week and a half. So after this all happened, and the First Republic banks, their shares tanked like 62%. That I think it went to 82%. This one, they came out and they said that we aren't going to bail them out, but they apparently got some banks together, from what I can understand, gave them a bunch of money, and said, hopefully this will hold you guys over. How long that'll last, I don't know. But I noticed that it said the 2-year Treasury yield plunged by more than 0.5% point. This is the biggest fall in 41 years. And to me, that's huge. I mean, everything is reaching just like when 2008, that's when the last bank thing happened. Now we're having another one happen. We just had 3. This one they've managed to prop up. We've had 3 the FDIC has come in and closed.
This is the hangover that we should have experienced back in 2008. We're starting to get it now. The economy runs up. We have, everybody knows that markets go down, they come up. Well, now it just goes up and it starts to crash, and they stimulate the crap out of it. It's just like the book When Money Dies. I talk about that book a lot, but you can go through that book and the verbiage in it is the same. We can do this forever. It's no big deal. Mm-hmm. We're going to do this, that, and the other. And it's just debasing of the currency. Every time they bail these people out, takes money away from the middle class, directly straight from their pocketbook in the form of inflation. And then they raise interest rates, and for every 1%, it takes $50 billion out of the blue collar middle class.
And that's painful when you stop and think about that. That is a lot. And listen how much the
nuts.
banks have borrowed. So the highest they had ever borrowed was back in 2008. And they borrowed 111 billion, the banks did. They are already at 152.85 billion. That is 41 and 80.84 billion more that they have borrowed. That was in the 2008 crash. Well, just so you know, the FDIC is on the hook. They have made them March the 29th. They've got to go before the committee, and they're going to have to testify why these banks are crashing. So that's something to pay attention to.
Is that most of your bank stuff?
Yeah, that's kind of a timeline. That's in a week that's a little over a week. And 3 banks and 1 they propped up. Not to mention the Credit Suisse across the huge bank they're propping up on that one.
We got a question earlier. Will there be more banks fail? More than likely, yes. Will they be backstopped? Probably. Will they, will it usher in a CBDC of some type, the Fed now, blah, blah, blah? Yes. I think that is the end goal, is to push everybody towards a central bank currency that they're able to essentially, it's like the old banking system's kind of like a T model, the new banking system is like a crotch rocket when it comes to velocity of money. They can stimulate, take away, they can really do whatever they want with this digital currency. And it's all heading that direction. Now,
one more thing before we go into that. So even the just tell you that Saudi National Bank, it's an anchor investor in the Credit Suisse. They have even come out and said they're done. They're not investing anymore. And so if this bank collapses, they said it's one of the largest banks in the world globally. They said they have got issues. So I don't know. So there you go. There would be a national. That would be a global disaster.
This is and it's going to push in. Everything pushes you towards the one world, global system, the central system. And I think, as crazy as this sounds, and guys, if you can wrap your mind around this and think about it with me and help me think through it, when the housing market absolutely crashes and craters because people that are just getting in these new homes. The people that just bought at the very, very top of the market while we were selling, they hadn't even gotten moved in good, and they're going to start losing their homes. I don't want this to happen. Trust me. That's why I made videos about it. But we're going to start seeing that, and I think the government is going to backstop that. It's very possible that the government is going to own single-family homes.
Oh, I could so see that. Oh, absolutely.
And you'll rent it.
Yeah.
It'll be some type of home tax where maybe you only pay, your mortgage was $1,000 a month. Maybe you only pay $200, and then if you act like they want you to act and you've got a good credit score, they'll give you some kind of tax on, some type of weird system that allows you to stay in your house, but the government actually owns it and tells you what to do with it. I could so see that.
Well, they already rolled out a program for people buying. They're already eliminating all these different fees and stuff like that. So absolutely, I could see that happen if you got in there and you got upside down, belling, saying going to the bank and say, we'll cover their loan.
So this was shared on ninjanationreport.com from, how do you say that?
Oh, I have no idea.
Ruggiero, Rujerro. Thank you guys for sending information there. It's really cool. ninjanationreport@gmail.com. MNJ's helping me kind of take care of that. And it's really cool. FedNow was test piloted on 5 banks, Silicon Valley and First Republic being second of them. 2 of them. Those banks failed. What does this mean? Well, the Federal Reserve FedNow program, intended to streamline the clearing and settlement process, will be tested by 5 Northern California regional banks and 3 credit unions, according to the report. And it goes down here and it says First Republic Bank, Tri-Counties Bank, Silicon Valley Bank, Pacific Coast Bankers Bank, and First Foundation Bank will be the banks testing the program, while the CUs participating are Excite
Credit and Farmers Insurance Federal Credit Union. Those are the credit unions.
Credit.
So we kind of always said, credit unions are supposed to be a little bit safer, and that's the next bank I want to look at. But they're participating also. They have no point. They have no choice though. If the Federal Reserve comes to them and demands that they do it, at the end of the day, they have no choice probably.
Yeah. They'll say,
Sorry, I interrupted you.
all they got to do is say, hey, this thing's going down. We got to do something right now. You're not going to get elected again.
Yeah.
And then what do you think happens? But the goal of the program is to expand equitable access to the instant payment system to over 10,000 depository institutions and their agents in the U.S. According to the report in Europe, immediate gratification with payments is becoming more common. Don't we live in an immediate gratification economy?
We do.
I mean, that goes down to everybody, your neighbors, your relatives. And in that book, When Money Dies, it said, this was a quote, the people they knew and their relatives were stupid. They did not know what inflation was, and they just simply thought it would be over next week.
You guys, if you have not read that book, you need to go.
It's a hard read.
Do it Audible then. Do it Audible. Read a chapter a day, and it is a good book. I've got that book so underlined and highlighted, and I go back sometime and I read quotes different things again because I'm like, okay, where did I read this from? It's like reading that book is like seeing what we're going through in some way, form, or fashion. And I pray to God that we don't have wheelbarrows of money, and firewood is more important than the money. I pray to God, but it does seem to be getting a little bit dicey of what's going on. But just so you guys think about how fast you were talking about how stuff goes along, and then 90% happens. Well, you just think about what just happened in the last week. Last week. I
know it's happening faster and faster, and don't let them. They're going to throw all kind of distractions out there. We've got somebody from Montreal, Canada watching. Thank you for being here. Dublin, Ireland.
Oh, wow.
My family's from Ireland. Probably in a pub somewhere right now. So, guys, again, thank you for being here and hitting that like button. If you hadn't, it means a lot. We do have some more breaking news that came out yesterday about 400 gallons of radioactive water.
Yes.
Just another, just a little more caustic waste on the ground.
Well, water is, you got to have water for everything. You got to have water to live, water for plants, water for livestock.
This is going into the groundwater. Nuclear power plant leaks 400 gallons of radioactive water while Xcel Energy reported the leak of water containing tritium to the state of federal authorities in late November. The spill had not been made public before Thursday. So it's been going on. They didn't know where it was at. And now they're saying, well, it's only the amount of water that would fill up an Olympic-sized swimming pool. What's the big deal with that? Xcel Energy looks to take swift action to contain the leak. Yeah, sure. And I'm sure they are. And this is a quote. We knew there was a presence of tritium in one monitoring well. However, Xcel had not yet identified the source of the leak and its location.
So here's a scary thing.
This is in Minnesota, St. Paul. So if you're there and you know about it, hit me up on ninjanationreport@gmail.com.
I'd like to know if you're in that area. So here's what my take on this is. And you guys tell me what you think too. And I'd like to know what you think. Things are going to happen. When you get chemical plants like this and things are going to get older, it's the fact I think that they hide this stuff. And then you're not given that chance to address it. So if I knew, for example, there was a leak somewhere and I was like, all right, I know this is happening and I can address it. But when you're just being lied to, which I think that seems to be a lot of the policies lately. And I think that's why that train thing in Ohio, people felt like they were lied to. They weren't told the truth. So just stuff happens, but you just got to be honest about it.
Yeah.
What did you say all the time? People would lie when the truth would.
Yeah. Well, especially those kind of people, they'll lie when the truth do better. And we've got some questions I need to catch up on. And this has been asked a couple of times. Would you trade your silver for gold? I know we're jumping all over the place, but that's the way the live streams go sometimes. I definitely plan on trading my silver for gold. I'm playing what's called the gold to silver ratio. And I'm not sure what it is right now. You can take the price of an ounce of gold and divide it by the silver price.
Right. I didn't do that.
It's somewhere around.
It was around 90, 85
was
to
90. 90?
It was up at 90 at one point.
Okay, and historically, silver lags way behind, gold will shoot up, and then silver gets closer, And when it gets to like 40 to 1, 30 to 1, you can swap your silver for gold and double your precious metals holdings. Now, this time could be a little different, famous last words. But when gold starts to take off, and this is my opinion, I think it's going to resemble the crypto market. It's going to resemble people running to something that's going up, and gold's already too expensive. So if gold goes to 3,500 ounce, 4,000 an ounce, I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but it's nothing to do a double in this environment with the amount of liquidity that's sloshing around globally. If just a few people started going to gold, it would pop. And then I think silver is going to run really probably as close as it's ever gotten. I think 14-1.
Wow, that would be crazy to see that again.
That would be really crazy. So I'm probably going to start moving into silver at 40 and 30-1. That's my plan. And if it, depends. We're all the time changing. We're bobbing and weaving. We're paying attention. We had both feet in the real estate market, and things started to happen. So we got out of that. We hedged a little bit more into physical assets in the form of land.
Yep.
We just got through buying some more land. We just got through clearing it.
Yep.
The pond.
Yep.
Put fish in the pond yesterday. Our food 401k.
Right. Started an orchard.
Yeah.
Starting the garden again.
Right.
Food. Yeah, I love that food 401k.
Yeah, the Texas boy was talking about that.
Yep.
TD, and I thought that was a great way to put it.
Yep.
And somebody else was talking about a tool 401k. Tools, hard assets.
That's huge.
Yeah,
yes.
Tools you can, like this lathe. That's why I bought it.
Yeah.
I don't use it all the time. I like to, but I don't have time. But if I need it, I can build anything I want. Axles, drive shafts, any kind of motor part. I've got a mill over there that'll build itself. It's from the 60s. It's Italian. Does everything I want to do. Those are not going down in value. Stoves, wood-burning stoves, not going down in value. I just don't believe it. We are developing a pellet stove. That's a weld-together-yourself project. That's still in the works. I'm going to have to get a few orders before
I think even though you say your tools, women is stuff, even I need that. That's a good even thing for me. And I have a box and I've been buying extra stuff like that and putting it aside. That's even a good thing for women to do.
We hadn't regretted buying food.
Nope.
It is so convenient. Ever since we started buying food, we've beat the stock market. And it's right there. You're going to eat it anyway.
Yep.
Don't buy food you don't eat. I'm not into the freeze-dried buckets. I don't push that. If you're into that and the doomsday scenario thing, that's fine. Have that. But as far as, get whatever you think you need, but then you can stockpile food that we eat anyway, like canned vegetables. And
we're getting a cow again delivered today. Oh, today I got to clean the freezer out.
I've actually got a new recipe I want to show you guys. I got 2 of them. Stuff I eat every day. It helps me stay in shape. It tastes great. It's full of protein, and we feel good on it. Because Stacey's, I rebuke lupus. She does not even have it anymore because we fixed our diet. But it sure helps you by eating clean, eating real food, and that's what we buy. We buy real food, real land, real property. Real things. I've never bought a bond in my life. That's just not. That's not my thing.
And you were actually talking to a guy about that a couple days ago when you were at a family
I went
event.
to a funeral. I met up with my cousin Sean, and he is a financial advisor. He has 5 different offices, done very well for himself. And just talking to him we're on the same page, but he does a lot of, he buys T-bills and they play that game. And that's just, I invest in commodities. We hold commodities, and it's simple. Yep. It's simple to own rental properties. And I really do think children in the 3rd grade, 4th grade should start learning how to run numbers on a business. They should start they should start being taught what does it actually take to be a millionaire one day? I mean, we're all going to be millionaires one day. If they keep debasing the currency like that, a gallon of milk will be $1 million.
Hey, real quick, if you guys, we've been asked numerous times, sorry it interrupts you a little bit. I'm curious to see, I know right now we are not saying buy investment properties. We are not saying that. The time is not right, except for, I guess, unless you stumbled across a really good deal. But we have been asked to do a video about how we did our investment properties. If you guys would be interested, let us know. And we'll try to sit down and write out the notes that how we learned how to do it, how we learned how to run the money, the numbers, because we actually, all 6 properties that we bought, we didn't put a 0 penny down, and we got money back on every single closing, because the title company used to laugh and go, I think you guys are one of the few people.
We figured it out, guys.
And thanks to him, I got to give him complete credit on this. He came home one day and said, hey, there is a way to buy rental properties and zero down. I'm like, babe, there's not. I'm a real estate agent. You got to put 20% down. And he was right. And we did it. So if you guys are interested, let us know.
Yeah. And I thought, and
you can at least learn the process.
If you're interested, I thought about building a course about how
Okay.
we did that.
Okay.
That'd be really cool because we've never missed a rent, not one single time. Our houses were pristine. You had to take your shoes off when you went in because I've come up with the best way to vet them. We got money back at the closing table. It was nothing but good.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have any of those horror stories where people tore up their house and they couldn't get them out. I didn't have one of those. And
we accumulated a few of those and we had to redo them.
Sure, yeah, we bought the ugliest house in the nicest neighborhood.
We're missing comments. You want to scroll down? See if we can miss.
Sorry.
But yeah, if you guys are interested, let us know and we'll see if we can put something together about that because it's a little time consuming to actually take time and talk to you about it over the phone. But we could. Yeah,
we'll do it like a 10 video course on exactly how to do it, and maybe answer personal questions if they bought the course. Yeah. That's something I've been really thinking about. It's just not time yet. I don't want to get people
but here's
to
the
get
thing
fired up about real estate just yet.
I get it, but if you don't learn now how to do it, and the time comes along, and you're frantically trying to figure out how to do it, you're behind the curve. And so if you learn how to run the numbers now and you know how to go and boom, walk in a house and you can immediately say, okay, this is what we got to do. This is what we got to do. These are repairs that are needed. Add the numbers up. You're not scrambling. You can make that offer.
It's fun too.
It is fun.
It is fun to walk in and do this, come back, go get, it was a lot of fun. And I really hated to get out of the game, but there's a time and a place for everything. And we're just not there yet, but we'll start on the course if you guys are interested. And, we'll start putting that together. That'll be really good.
One more thing I want to tell you guys. I work for Miles Franklin, and I just kind of want to real quick tell you guys their website. Love Miles Franklin, but it stinks. Their website only shows spot. It does not show the premiums. So if you want a premium price list, just either text me, email me. Sometimes if I don't answer my phone right away because I'm on the phone with somebody else, you can text me 318-564-5823. Always put my number up. You can email me at staylor@milesfranklin.com. I will at least get you the premium price list and kind of shoot you the spot, what's going on. That is the only thing. They're a great company, but they're trying to revamp their website right now, and it's down. And I know so many of you guys have called and said, I went to the website, and there's nothing there. And I'm like, I know. It stinks.
Yeah, and I didn't have the number up there because you're pretty busy, and she's really trying to take care of the people that she does have. And
well, just bear with me. I will get back to you. Just hang with me. I am working all day today. As soon as we finish this video,
she's working tomorrow. She tries not to work Sunday, but it's the people.
What's a little volatile right now?
The amount of people that are moving into precious metals is just unbelievable. With these bank failures, can you imagine? This is going to be. You're going to start seeing a low supply. We're going to start seeing a supply crunch on precious metals, as we already are.
We are.
And
heads up, my premiums are going up too. Sorry, you guys.
And they're going to keep going up as the supply, they can only spoof the market so much. And then when there's not any, people are going to pay what they think it's worth. Mm-hmm. And you're going to see some nutty premiums, I think.
Yeah, I had a couple call me the other day from Wisconsin, and they had gone to fairly around their area, 3 large cities. They had been searching for 3 months and could not find precious metals. Saw our video, called us, and they're like, oh my goodness. They're like, we can't find it. So even local coin dealers are running out. I had somebody else call me the other day. Their local coin person that they usually deal with, completely out, does not know when they're going to get any more in. So I'm hearing this over and over, and back to banks a little bit too. You guys are calling, telling me different things about these banks. And I don't know if it's because the bank runs, because, I've asked some of the banks, are you guys trained on some of this? But they're limiting now the amount of cash that you can deposit from one account to the other within that same bank. I think it's like $2,000 per week they would only let them do, because they said they were struggling to make orders because they would only allow them to transfer so much. Then I had someone the other day they apparently were questioned about a wire transfer. They were like, how else can I do an order then? By the way, you guys can do orders in 3 different ways. So this will make it easy when you guys call me. You can do a wire transfer to Miles Franklin. You can do a personal check or money order, mail it to Miles Franklin, or you can do the free version, which is ACH. And that is basically you give me that routing number and account number at the bottom of your check. Please do not email it to me. Call and just give it to me personally. I burn it after I write it down and put it into the system. Tyler takes it and he processes it. Once you've done that once, you don't ever have to do that again. So it makes it really simple and easy. I can get it shipped anywhere. You can get it shipped to your home, business, P.O. box, you name it. It does come registered, insured, and it does require signature. So that's some of the simple questions maybe that will help.
John put something really interesting in the comments. Buy gold for hyperinflation. Weimar hyperinflation ratio widened to 180
Whoa.
to 1. That is
not know that.
impressive. There was one more. How did I get the tenants to take their shoes off? Okay, I didn't. They chose to do that.
Yes.
They, I had nice new floors in there. I made them I went at it at a little different angle. I would prepare the house a little bit nicer. I didn't do the cabinets or anything or countertops, but I put decent floors in. What was the name?
We did one of them. Is that floating laminate, vinyl floating?
Floating laminate.
It's waterproof.
I guess it was a nice product and they wanted to keep it nice. So they took their shoes off.
Well, when we sat down with them after we did the background check, we told them, we're like, you guys call us, we will be there. And we ask that you just let us know if something breaks. If you will keep this house up, we will do our best to be the best landlords. And we kept to our end and they did theirs.
Yeah. And
yeah.
I don't have enough good things to say about it. No. Just you have to evict them. I'll put it in the course. Evict them before they move in.
Yep.
And I was almost fooled a couple times, but I stuck with my guns. Just like I always get 3 bids on everything, including gold and silver, including everything you do. Yes, we sell precious metals. We provide an awesome service with great prices. But if you can find it somewhere else that provides the same service that you trust, go there.
Absolutely.
I'm dead serious about that. I called somebody the other day. They were extremely pushy. I'm not going to say who they were, but it was disgusting how much more it costed. I'm talking $1,000 more for a monster box, $1,300 more for a monster box. If they can't answer that question, how much is a monster box delivered to my door in just a few seconds?
Yep.
Something's up. Yep. So be careful there. How would shoes damage wood floors? Okay, it's not about that.
No, it's just that meant that they were taking care of our home. It's that we made a home that they were proud to rent. It wasn't a dump otherwise. And we charged not top of the dollar. I probably could have got a little bit more. And we never even raised the rents. Once we had the renters move in there, we never raised the rent on them once. And I even told one of the ladies, she was a sweet lady with 2 little kids. And I told her, I said, I'm not raising your rent. You've been so good to us. And we never did. One of the ones we sold. I actually missed talking to her. She was a sweet girl.
Oh yeah, our renters were like family to us. We treat everybody the same. We gave them a really nice piece of property to call their own as long as they rented it, and they took care of it. And it was just a great experience. Okay.
What else do we want to discuss?
You had somebody had called in and told you a really good story. I can't remember what it was.
The bank.
It might have been banks, something that happened.
Well, if you can remember, I'll tell you, I have noticed an uptick, and I had mentioned this in a previous video, but this past week I've noticed a huge uptick in smaller pieces of gold being purchased, and you guys are going to make them into jewelry. I had mentioned it that Chris's mom had done that. She did it for me on a coin one time, and you guys are actually doing that, and I think that is so incredibly cool. And you always have that piece of gold with you. I've noticed a big uptick in that. Huge uptick in gold purchases. Notice that a lot also.
What do people buy most? What would you say was the number one thing you sell?
Silver buffaloes.
Silver
buffaloes. That silver buffaloes and maple gold and silver buffaloes.
Because that's the best deal. That's me too, guys. Yep. I'm the same way. Silver to me is silver and gold's gold. If you're into numismatics, you're smarter than me because I don't know what they're worth. And every time I tried to go to buy one, they didn't know what it was worth either. And I said, well, it's worth gold, the price of gold to me. If it was caught and if it was out of a shipwreck or something, it's still gold. I don't know. I'm just not a very collectible. I don't do baseball cards and stuff like that.
And we don't have a lot of collectibles. If there is a particular coin you're looking for, I actually have to call our shipping department and check to see. We don't do a lot of collectible like the Trump coins or the Christmas coins. We do strictly usually from government mints, not private mints. One of the few private mints we have are the 2 buffaloes that I have. Everything else is pretty much from government mints.
And there's one more question about...
Stacey, do you expect the silver to dip? Somebody just said. Stacey, on your game. Love working with you. Oh, thanks, Steve. You guys just got your order, I think, Mr. Sherman.
There's a solar question that I'm
Somebody
supposed
asked
to
if we-
answer.
Okay, wait real quick. Somebody
Or-
said, do you guys think that the silver's going to dip? I don't know. I mean, obviously I knew last Friday when the banks did that and we closed in at $20.80. I knew without a doubt. And we had the Treasury Department coming out, the Federal Reserve coming out Monday, that when the COMEX opened up Friday, hands down, it was going to go to the moon. So that's the reason why I worked all day Sunday as hard as I could. So I apologize. I got back to all of you guys. If I didn't, I'm so sorry. Give me another shot. I'll try. But
do I think the price of silver is going to dip? Yes. Yes, I do. Why? Because I've never called the bottom of anything. It always seems to amaze me on how they can manipulate the markets. Now, the process of gathering the precious metals as they're dipping, as we all know, it's hard to it gets harder to get to.
Yeah. Okay.
So I just try to keep whatever percentage of my portfolio at that percentage, and when it dips, we buy a little bit more.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of how we play it. But yeah, there's going to be, I think there should be some more opportunities, but are you going to be able to get all you need then? Probably not. So, for some reason, people spend a lot of money on Facebook, Amazon, and things that you can't really get to, and they have a hard time moving over to that physical. But as they do, it gets, and I encourage you to play with it, buy a little bit and then maybe give it to somebody like a grandkid or start using it, trade it for something, try to start playing with it. And it kind of feels like wealth. We don't love it. It's just, it's a way to hedge wealth, and it has been through history. So as far as getting to the bottom and calling the bottom and buying it all at the bottom, fat chance. It not for me anyway.
No, let us buy and the market will go down. Hey, can I throw a curveball?
Yeah, sure.
Let's say if you made it to the end of this video, what would you think about giving a piece of silver away?
Sure.
To Buffalo, if they've made it.
How are you going to know? You going to do it in the live chat right now?
Yeah, I'll go back to the live chat. If you're in the live chat right now, hit.
You got to be in the live chat right now.
Yep. Silver
We're going to give
Buffalo.
away a piece of silver. Where is
do
it
hashtag Silver Buffalo. No, do hashtag Silver Buffalo. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to count. I'm going to pick a number and I'm going to go down through because I can go back to the live stream on the laptop.
All right here in the last 2 minutes.
Silver Buff, hashtag Silver Buffalo. And then I'm going to give one away.
Hashtag Silver Buffalo, guys.
Go for it. And I'm going to give it away. I'm going to pick a number and then I'm going to go scroll down through it and find out which one of those comments are. And I'm going to, then you'll have to go to the chat, when to go to after you do Silver Buffalo, come back to this video and go to the comments on the video
let's just
section.
Pick it right here.
Are you gonna pick it right here?
We're gonna pick it right here.
Let's do it. This is fun.
Live in about a minute and 30 more seconds.
All right, let's do it. You guys keep doing hashtag.
And I'm not gonna look. I'm gonna scroll around and pick the number.
Done.
Pick the person.
So you can do hashtag as many times as you want. Go for it. This is fun.
Blow it up.
Me do it. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I've actually got 2 sitting in there that I was going to give away, and we just haven't come back out here and do it.
Okay, Jen, could you tell me the question about the solar? Because I've got a plan for my solar setup that probably most people aren't going to do, but this is what I'm planning on. Could you give me the question, because it is gone right now?
All right.
We got hashtag Silver Buffalo.
30 more seconds.
Frenzy.
30 more seconds at 44 minutes. We are picking it. Deal?
All right,
29 more seconds, 28.
We'll name it at the very end. Let them go.
So.
And hit the like button for me, please. That'd be awesome.
Well, you guys, it's been really great talking to you this past week. Thanks for the information. Sorry, I've not got to spend as much time with you guys as I normally do when you call in and give me information. But like we said, we usually joke around, but man, this has been a really tough last week. And it's just, it's a lot of people have been scared.
So if you guys would like a solar video, straight up solar, we could do that. But in the meantime, while the Silver Buffaloes are coming in, it's been 2 minutes.
Got to pick it.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
I'm going to scroll up all the way to the top of the Silver Buffaloes. And then
just scroll down and hit one.
Scroll down and scroll back up and scroll down, scroll back up, and I hit this one. Nancy Tharp.
Yeah, Nancy
Tharp wins the Silver Buffalo.
So Nancy Tharp, if you will email me at staylor@milesfranklin.com and give me your mailing address, I will drop that in the mail Monday.
Awesome. It's always
Thank
fun to give
you.
silver away. Now, before we go, solar. Here's my plan for solar. I think everything's going to get a little bit worse before it gets better, and that's when I'm going to buy my solar. It's that simple. And also, the green weenies are going to stimulate in a fashion that it pushes you in that direction.
Subsidies,
I think they're going to give
grants,
you tax breaks and all the stuff to get solar. And they already are. Bud Light did a video on that. Just check out his channel. But that's my plan to wait. And as we get into the green environment, it seems like things are getting better. The solar panels are getting cheaper. Batteries, not so much yet, but it very well could be possible when people are hungry. So we'll see. All right, guys, have an awesome, awesome day. Thank you for being here. We'll see you in the next one. Later.
Thanks. That was fun giving it away.
Yes, it was.